campers, because campers have thin metal. It will rust up, swell up, and then you're going to have incredible hold strength to raise it up or down. I'll let you hop on in because everything else I need to talk about. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just going to mop it out after we get done. Alright, over here is pretty much where you're going to check your tank levels. I'm telling you, whenever you go to clean your black tank when you're flushing it, I want to see what my levels are. Alright, so actually, when you guys come over there, I'd like for you guys to get a hands-on better view of it. Alright, so my battery, if I want to see what state of my battery is, what does it say? Full?
Yeah.
Right now we're plugged into the power, so of course it's going to say we're full. But if we happen to have had it in storage, we're getting ready to go camping with it, I'm going to open my door, press that button to see what my battery voltage is. Alright, that's our fresh water tank. Fresh water tank reads empty. And then we have black and then gray. You do not have a galley tank. Galley tank is usually for the kitchen, but with small units like this, they put everything into your gray tank. So you're just going to be looking at gray, black, fresh, and your battery. Alright, so light switches. This one just does this one right here. That's it. It does not do any of the other ones. And then this one here does your awning LED lights outside. This is your button to retract your awning or extend your awning. So make sure that you're hitting retract whenever you want to run your awning or bring your awning in. You can keep hitting extend and start to roll the awning up backwards. And when you roll it up backwards, you've actually created a pool for water to sit in and find all the little cracks and crevices to come down in. So it's very important that you make sure you roll the awning up correct. If you guys want a little bit more explanation on that, I can help you. Alright, so you see how the fabric is on the top of the tube right now?
Yes.
That's the way that we want to retract it. That's the way that we want it to come in. Now, if I keep hitting extend,
oh, they're going to go the other way.
That is correct.
Okay.
Now, fabric is on the bottom. Now, whenever we roll that up, there's our pool for that water to sit in. So,
I don't want that.
now, whenever there are, not high, hard, heavy rain, if you want, you can run the awning out to about this point right in here. That way you have some shelter when you open the door and have to run to your vehicle or something like that. The shocks do have a forgiving on them, which means that they'll let that awning come down so far, and then they're going to push it back up. When it does that, whatever water is in there is going to come out the side of it. So hopefully you don't get caught whenever it's pushing it out. Okay, water pump. As long as we have water in our fresh water tank, we can turn our water pump on. We don't have any water in the fresh water tank, so we're not going to turn that on. Alright, a couple things. Your fire extinguisher. If you happen to be traveling through different states or even here in the state of Florida, agriculture can pull you over. And one of the first things that they're going to look for is that fire extinguisher being by that door. Another thing is how your LP tanks are set. I'll show you that whenever we get done, but that's important because if you have the collars facing the wrong way, they can give you a ticket for that as well. So yeah, if you don't have that sitting there, it's a $150 ticket. LP tanks aren't sitting right, that's a $150 ticket. So just a note for you on that. Alright, radio, entertainment. Let's see. Hopefully these guys didn't have it lasting too much. Right.
No, then let CMG
Okay, we got a zone 1 and a zone 2.
We combine the
Zone 1 on.
technology and
Press and hold zone 1. That shut inside off. Now I just have music playing outside. Zone 2. Zone 2 is on. Nighttime, we don't want to disturb people outside. We want to entertain inside. I'm gonna shut zone 2 off. Turn zone 1 on. And of course, you'll adjust your volume. Bluetooth your phone to it. That way you can listen to your favorite playlist while you're hanging out in the woods. Pretty much that's going to be about it as far as radio. Quick press just mutes the radio. Long press shuts the radio off. Alright. Refrigerator. This is a 12-volt compressor refrigerator freezer. Has a very big, huge capacity for being a 12-volt refrigerator. Also, this has what's called an off-the-grid function. So, if you happen to be going off-grid, meaning you're not going to be able to plug your power cord into power, you're going to be solely relying on the battery to keep the refrigerator going. So, you'll set this to off-grid. That's going to keep your stuff cold, but it's not going to be enough to overpower the battery. So, but if you're regular camping, turn it to whatever selection that you want. Which one works best, that's going to be up to you guys. Whatever, how much food you put in there, and the frequency of opening and closing the door.
So you're saying you go off grid, turn it to a appropriate setting?
Yeah, see where it says off grid?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it says off grid. You turn it to that setting there. That'll keep, like I said, it'll keep the stuff cold, but it's not going to be enough to overpower the battery.
Okay.
And if you're going to do that, you definitely want to set some solar up to charge that battery. But if you don't plan on going off grid, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Now, whenever we get done with this, we took our stuff out, we shut it off. What happens to refrigerators whenever we do that?
We shut off the
Shut off the refrigerator and keep the door closed. What happens?
It's empty.
Yeah, it gets mildewed, moldy. We have a way of preventing that. We're going to shut that guy off, but we're going to take this guy right here. We're going to pop it in like that. We're going to take our freezer, and we're going to take our refrigerator. Now, if you plan on leaving this plugged in, this light is going to stay on. So you might want to take your piece of tape and push your switch. So take your switch shut, because the door is not going to shut the light up.
Right.
But this is whenever we've got this sitting at home or storage, not going to move it again. Because now we can let it naturally air dry. That way, whenever we go to use the unit next time, we don't have it where it was closed up and you open it up and you're like, oh my God. You know, it just smells horrible, nasty. Take you 2-3 hours to bleach everything out. There's a best way to keep this refrigerator convenient for you is to do what I just showed you on that.
That's with any refrigerator in general, right? Usually when you shut it off, you should keep it open a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, in general, right?
In general,
the fridge in our storage, I think I put an umbrella, so that it can close.
Yeah, any of them that you shut, I can't stand getting used units. Refrigerator is like one of the last things I want to open up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because people do not take care of them. They don't, do things. A lot of people don't know either. So,
yeah.
That's the reason why I explain things the way that I am with you guys. That way you can, get the best out of the camper itself.
Yeah.
We don't just throw around, money like it's, we got it coming out of our ears.
Yeah.
Okay. Electrical panel is below here.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Now, we're going to need to get some extra fuses. These are just your regular ATC 12-volt fuses. So we're going to need to get 15s and a 40.
Okay.
So grab you some extra fuses, throw them in the unit. That way, if something happens, I strongly suggest putting a surge protector on the end of your power cord. You're going to take that surge protector, you're going to plug it into the utility pole. Then you're going to take your power cord, you're going to plug it into the surge protector. Now your camper is
the surge protector will be outside of the.
Yeah, whenever you're going to plug your power cord into, you're actually going to take the surge protector, plug it into the utility pole. Then you're going to take your power cord and you're going to plug it in the bottom of the surge protector.
So this is a special kind of surge protector for like RVs?
Yep. We have some inside, but I'm going to tell you to go online and do your research. Don't get the cheapest and don't get the most expensive. Me, I like to grab things in the middle because you kind of get a little of both. But
that's my general rule of thumb on things.
Yeah, but I would go medium price on things. Do your research on it. The ones that we got here, they're cheap, but they mark them up high, and people wind up bringing them back or try to bring them back. You can't bring the electrical stuff back, so.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but do your research. All right, now if either one of these fuses are to blow, there's going to be a little red LED light that's going to emit next to the one that's popped. That way we're not taking some needle nose going, no, that one's good, no, that one's good, no, that one's good, or trying to take a meter and ohm out the element. So, something 12 volts not working, I'm going to look down here. I see a red light on. Let me grab my fuses, open up my electrical panel, pull that fuse out, put me a new one in. If it doesn't pop, awesome. I'm going to close my electrical panel and go about my day.
Where's the lights? They're just right next to it?
Yep.
Okay. And you'll be able to see it through the through this thing, I guess.
Yep.
You were saying.
Okay. That's why it has the screens on here. And this is the fan for it, so it's actually going to cool. This is the converter. So this is what charges the battery.
Okay.
Whenever your power cord is plugged in, this is going to turn on, and that means that battery is collecting a charge.
Okay.
You can also take your meter to the battery and put it on 12 volt, and while your power cord is plugged in, you should be getting over 13 volts at the battery. All right, 110 volt breakers. These are just like the ones at home. They go in the middle position when they trip, so we just simply shut them off and then we flip them back up. If it goes back into a trip position, you got some kind of electrical issue, you need to bring it in, let somebody take a look at it. But this one here is your 30. Now this is a 30 amp 120 volt system. This is not a 240 volt system. A lot of people think 30 amp, I need 240 volts. No, this is a 30 amp 120 volt. If you tried to do 240 volt, you would blow everything in this unit up.
Okay.
So
Don't do that.
yeah, so don't do dryer plugs. Nope, do not try to plug into the dryer plug. If you do, I do have a way for you to do that, and I will show you that when we get done in here. Okay, so the dinette area, you do have storage up overhead. You also have a 110 volt outlet up top there. No USB charge ports around the dining area. Your blinds, these are just your typical, I don't like them, but they're your typical accordion shades. If they happen to not stay up, we're going to take this string here and we're either going to try to wrap it around one time, and we might alternate, go each side. But these are the tension strings. The more tension you have on these, the better these are going to stay up.
Okay.
But they will, whenever they loosen up, they're just going to fall right straight down. Exit window there. Now, I don't know if you guys seen this before, but your table was sitting on your lips here. You have the poles pulled out, so if you need to turn this into a sleeping quarter, you can just simply pull your table off, pull your two tubes out. You can stow your tubes underneath your seats. You have storage up underneath your seats. Water heater and water pump are located underneath that section, on that back section right there, so store stuff accordingly in there. But if you need another sleeping quarter, We're going to take the table, we're going to lay it on these ledges here. We're going to take our back cushions and we're going to lay those dudes across the tabletop. And then we got another sleeping section here. Now, whenever we go to put the table back on, notice we got distance. Difference in distance between the cups and the edge of the table itself. Same thing with the tubes on there. So a short distance is going to go towards the window. Okay. How do we do that? That's the fun part. Alright. Kids is probably the biggest part, or if we have to, some people like to push down as they get up. You're on two toothpicks. So pushing down and getting up is not gonna work. That's actually gonna start tearing this up. Okay. Start pulling the screws up out of the floor. So trying to be careful whenever we do things. Reason why I'm telling you guys this is stuff that I see get tore up on units and stuff like that.
Thank you for telling us all that.
All right, another storage compartment here. And it also has access to the water heater. But I'm actually going to show you a different way to get your water heater because there is a thermostat on the back of the water heater. Now, the gray box right there, that is your water heater. Alright, so your thermostat is right here. So right now we're set to 125 degrees. Whenever I first got in here, that thing was all the way up to max. And man, that water was hot. So I would try your water and see if that's what you're comfortable with. Okay. Now there is a circuit breaker to shut the water heater off over there, or you can just simply unplug it from here. That will shut the heating element off. That's the only way that you turn the water heater on and off. And most of the time, water heaters don't come with a thermostat, so unless it's a tankless filled water heater. Alright, water pump is located right here. Now, if we need to winterize the unit, that's what this hose is for. But if you're here in Florida, we don't ever winterize units. So you'll never have to mess with it. Like I said, if you're going to go to where it's 32 degrees or below for more than two weeks, then we'll definitely want to do some winterizing. Alright, any questions?
No. As far as winterizing, I think we're going to stay south.
Alright.
She doesn't like the cold.
I don't either. I was born and raised here in Jacksonville, Florida. I lived in North Carolina for 17 years.
Yeah.
I miss the country setting. I miss the people there. The people there are a lot different than what people are around here.
I spent a lot of time in North Carolina, so I like it there. I love it there.
It's kind of more laid back. Everybody here is rush, go, go.
But this seems really laid back from what I'm used to from my ends.
We're from South Florida.
Oh!
Hollywood.
I was born in Homestead. I was raised here. I've never seen Homestead.
When I first got here, I would say how laid back and how friendly, and people are yielding on the highway and stuff. To the locals, they would look at me like,
I thought when I first moved in North Carolina was people were sitting on their porch and they waved to you when you went by. I was like, but then I got used to it.
yeah, it's nothing. I love it.
People are definitely in a different atmosphere here. Alright, air conditioner. That's probably the biggest thing during the summertime. So we've got a few different ways of using the AC. Right now, I just have this vent open up, blowing air that way, and then got this one here. So we can do whatever kind of configuration that you want with it. Shoot air around everywhere, or and just have it dumping cold air into here. So it basically depends on your preference. Me, I like to shoot it around your air filter. Unless you've got some really, really strong fingernails, me, I have to use my knife, take my knife in here, just give it a twist and pull down. This is a washable filter, so you'll take that off. You'll take the filter, brush it. If you happen to use aerosol air fresheners, that stuff will make the air filter sticky. So then that stuff that you are trying to brush off is like the smear into the filter. So then we're going to take the filter and we're going to put it in some Dawn and some water and clean it off that way. And then put it back in and we're ready to go. If you use the camper frequently, you're going to be cleaning it once a month. If not, then you'll be good to go on. Under storage underneath the sink, and then you got 2 drawers there. Not a whole lot for storage, but just for a temporary weekend kind of getaway, be just fine. Not gonna have a whole lot of room for pots and pans and stuff like that. Alright, up top here, that box right there has all of the manuals for all of your appliances. All of for your sinks, stuff like that, all your components for the camper. So if you like reading instructions or stuff like that on things, you'll have a good time.
But we actually have, Paul gave us a box like that already.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and I was actually looking for a general manual for this RV, and that there isn't. It's all like separate, like Furrion and microwave and
just for the components. There isn't a manual for campers themselves.
Oh.
I'm your manual.
Oh, okay.
There, that's your manual. Alright.
Oh. Wow.
Kitchen sink. This is a stainless steel sink. Get you some stainless steel cleaner and conditioner. Whenever we get done with the camper, condition it. Down there. Because if you don't and you leave this in here and you leave water spots on it,